Drake has done some snake stuff. So if J. Cole, after a conversation with Kendrick Lamar, stops speaking to Drake completely, I think it's best we don't know that answer. I think it's best that J. Cole don't ever say it, because I think J. Cole is protecting Drake. I don't think J. Cole is protecting himself.
Rory and Moore had a lot to say regarding Drake and J. Cole. As you already know, they're not necessarily speaking with each other anymore, and obviously in today's video, we're going to understand exactly why that's the case, and kind of come to a conclusion of like what we think as well.
While discussing the possibility that J. Cole may have dissed Drake on his new project with DJ Clue, a really frustrated Maul went into details on why J. Cole not only owes Drake an explanation, but he owes the fans. And Maul begins to divulge information that the world didn't know about J. Cole and Drake.
On this album, he better address why he did what he did.
Okay.
He better address why he did what he did.
Did a bit on Port. You disagree with what he said he did.
On this album, he better explain why he did what he did. He better explain why he had that conversation with Kendrick.
Okay.
And then never spoke to Drake after that again in his life. He has to explain that.
As somebody who used to be an honorary member of OVO, we good. We good. If you are a fan of Drake, this is the last thing you want to happen. You don't want for J. Cole.
Word, that's the thing, like, at the end of the day, I'm a Drake fan. I don't give a fuck what anyone says, bro. I think Drake is still the greatest artist of our generation. Obviously, as of recent, his music hasn't necessarily been slapping, but how many people can sustain a career for over 10 years and actually not only sustain a career, each and every single year, he becomes his own worst enemy because he just keeps on beating records, keeps on delivering smashes, etc. But obviously, every single dog has his day, and unfortunately, the days of, Drake being at the top is kind of done. We already understand we're okay with that, whatever. In saying that though, like, seeing the top three guys in the game beefing each other is something that I don't necessarily believe anyone really wants to happen, but unfortunately, it's part of the game. And to be honest, it's part of hip-hop as well, you know what I mean? Beef is gonna happen regardless of if you like it or not. Now, in saying that, for someone like J. Cole, to hear something and to be swayed enough to not speak about or to speak to Drake anymore, it must be something crazy, bro. You already know. Out of all the three, you already know Kendrick, yes, he says one or two things that not everyone agrees with. Again, I don't mind Kendrick. I don't mind what he says and what he stands for. I think he's very, very talented, especially To Pimp a Butterfly will always remain my best album from it. I think that album is ridiculously amazing. Besides, obviously, Good Kid. But in saying that, someone like J. Cole, he's probably the most stand-up out of all of them. Drake has a lot of things that even us fans, we can't deny, just some dumb shit. J. Cole, there's not much that you could say against that guy, bro. Like, he's just a chill guy, does his thing, cuts through, so on and so forth. So, from the point that you are now put in a position where you're not going to speak to Drake, based on something that the middle party's basically told you, it must be mad, bro. It must be mad. And us as fans, we don't want to hear that, bro. Bro, please, just leave it, man.
To come out and actually give the real reason why he stopped speaking to Drake, why he cut off Drake, why he no longer wants to have a conversation with Drake, I think it's actually going to work against Drake. Drake is not somebody who we know to be somebody who's been like a loyal home. Drake has done foul things to people around him.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, Drake is a demon, you know. What? There's a lot of... I think that's part of the reason, because he's always talking about why, like, in his songs, people hate me because I'm at the top, so on and so forth. But let's be real, there's been a lot of things that Drake has done throughout his career that, again, is a bit questionable. Like, why are you doing certain plays, etc. Like, unless you're trying to go out on a bad boy thing like 50 Cent and literally just be a reckless guy and be like, yo, if you're my enemy, I'm going to basically show you what I got. If that's your play, then stick to it. But what Drake is doing is that one day he'll be on that 50 Cent type shit, another day he'll be on like a certified lover boy kind of play where he's now begging for our sympathy and shit like that. I'm just like, bro, like, pick a side. Like, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? So it doesn't necessarily make sense to me. You know, I don't think it makes sense to a lot of us fans either. But again, Drake just being Drake, innit?
Drake has slept with people, girls. Drake has done some snake stuff. So if J. Cole, after a conversation with Kendrick Lamar, stops speaking to Drake completely, I think it's best we don't know that answer. I think it's best that J. Cole don't ever say it, because I think J. Cole is protecting Drake. I don't think J. Cole is protecting himself. It was actually on Not Like Us and Not Euphoria, but Kendrick Lamar did say, you did Cole foul. I don't know why you still pretending. Now, J. Cole and Kendrick had a conversation after J. Cole dropped his diss track. And after that conversation with Kendrick, Kendrick told J. Cole exactly how Drake did him foul. And Drake ain't speak to Cole since, right? Cole didn't pick up that phone and talk to Drake since, and they ain't been cool since. So I don't know what Drake did to Cole, but it's not going to work out in Drake's favor for J. Cole to come out and say it. Now, there are a couple of theories. I think one theory here, I'll put us over. So one theory here is he's saying Drake did J. Cole dirty by bringing him onto his song First Person Shooter and allowing him to think that he, Drake, and Kendrick were on equal standing with each other. After Kendrick's response to this claim on Like That, Cole responded with 7-minute drill freestyle, then immediately apologized to Kendrick and bowed out after beef. I don't think that J. Cole will stop speaking to Drake because he was misled.
Come on, man. That's not the reason, bro. It's gonna have to do something like some Drake type shit. He smashed his girl or some dumb shit. Like, the most pettiest stuff, bro. It's gonna be something along those lines, bro.
On the composing,
I don't think it's even to do with music. You know what I mean? It's something personal.
the First Person Shooter, because I do believe that they did ask Kendrick Lamar to be on First Person Shooter. I think J. Cole asked Kendrick on behalf of Drake, and Kendrick declined it. So, like, J. Cole always knew that Kendrick Lamar was not going to be on First Person Shooter, obviously. And if it was anything with the song coming out, then J. Cole wouldn't have did the video with Drake, right? So I don't think it's in regards to that. I think it's much deeper and is much personal. Another theory here is Kendrick is being less generous to J. Cole here, suggesting that he is the one who did Cole foul by dissing him on Like That, causing a chain of, well, like, this is foul or this is wrong right here because he's definitely speaking about how Drake did Cole foul, not him doing Cole foul. Another theory here is Drake throwing J. Cole under the bus after being on each other's sides, portray him negatively in push-ups and Family Matters.
Bro, this is why I don't listen to, you know what I mean, all these people on the internet, bro, like saying, it's because of this reason and da. Bro, at the end of the day, we don't know the reason, you know what I mean? Big up Flacco every single time, but the people that are, like, interpreting that online, bro, they don't know the reason either. Those are 3 weak-ass reasons, you get what I'm saying? But what I would definitely say is that, broski, Drake is a living legend, bro. He's still the GOAT, in my personal opinion. You guys let me know in the comments if you agree or not, but he's still the GOAT. The only issue with Drake is that, bro, sometimes he just does stuff that's a bit like, bro, why would you do that? And then upon doing it, why would you then basically play the victim from doing it? You know what I mean? Like, Drake is a very tactical person. He plays this game like chess, but the issue is that if he makes a chess move and it backfires, he won't take accountability for it. What he will now do is basically put his hands up and be like, hey, why are they doing me like this? Victim. Even with the Kendrick thing, for example, he took the whole Kendrick plus also his record label to court. You know what I mean? He lost it, but I don't know, man. Drake, certain things you don't necessarily have to do. But my people, them, if you like my commentary, simply leave a like down below. Also a comment down below as well. And also leave a subscribe as well. I got a lot of content coming out for you guys. And I'll keep you guys updated. Peace.